Welcome back, everyone, to the next era of the state of the YouTube. Unfortunately, Mumpy Jones cannot join us today, nor will he join us ever on any other episode in the future because...
well, let's not say ever yet, because, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what is going to happen in the future.
No, Rusty, I really don't think that Mumpy is going to be on the show ever again.
We recorded one episode, and it just didn't feel the same without him.
Yeah, I know. The fans have been clamoring, wondering where in the world is Mumpy Jones, when the truth is that, unfortunately, he is not part of the SOTY cast anymore. We have disposed of him, much like many other podcasts before us have disposed of some very problematic members.
Should we talk about why, or just kind of leave that?
Yeah, I think we've been leading the fans on enough. It's time to reveal the truth. Our fans, our loyal audience, they deserve to know what exactly has happened here.
Well, it's like, all right, so I mean, in this, God, just fucking piss me. I mean, I get it. We had to do this because it's if we want this podcast to continue, if we want it to remain something that can keep growing going forward, I mean, we had to fucking do this because Mumpy's done this several times in the past, and he keeps doing this with everything that he fucking does. It becomes, you can't continue with it. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm at a loss of words.
Now, I understand a lot of you guys like Mumpy. I understand you like the banter he brings, but you have to understand before you come after any of us here about this, that this is just an executive decision. We have spoken to Mumpy privately numerous times about this, and he has time and time again refused to listen. And eventually, desperate times call for desperate measures, and we had to give him the axe.
The problem is that we're trying to actually create something here. We're trying to make this channel be something that can grow. We want sponsors. We want to, this is how we make our living. And the thing is, God, I mean, fucking, I love Mumpy, but he's just such a fucking shitlord, and he loves destroying everything around him. And I didn't think that. I think something with his YouTube channel. Once his YouTube channel went down, he stopped kind of caring about a lot of stuff, and this podcast kind of got the second back burner or whatever to his Twitch channel. So he didn't care if. Go ahead. What did?
Yeah, Mumpy's YouTube channel got taken down because of his nonchalant attitude towards everything, and he was trying to put the same attitude to this podcast with his numerous mistakes over and over again. And
he was doing interviews. He was stealing our interviews. We're trying to do interviews. We're trying to get people on the show, and we're trying to grow this. And then he's just SOTY channel? Nah, I'm going to do it first on the Mumpy channel, and that's fine. I might hold myself to a certain standard of, like, ethical standard on my Twitch, but fuck the SOTY channel. They can do whatever they fucking want. If they crash and burn, who cares?
Yeah, Mumpy going full Devil May Cry on our channel, throwing caution into the wind, just complete lack of regard for the show and this project. This is our baby. This show is our baby, and we're trying to build it. We're trying to nurse it up from the ground up, and we've been doing so good. And all of a sudden, Mumpy Jones comes along, and he just wants to jeopardize all of that positive growth. And we just couldn't allow it to happen. We had to make an executive decision, and this is what's best for business going forward.
It's an ethical thing that it's really childish, but he's saying a lot of things. He's saying, like, a lot of controversial things, and not just opinion wise. That's fine. Everyone has controversial opinions, but when you're openly saying the N-word like he was doing, and the F word, and
it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable, Rusty.
The N-word's the main one, because, like, that is absolutely, that is not something that we can have.
It makes me shake in my boots.
And even you can't bleep stuff like that out because people know the context in the sentence. And we've already had a strike on a previous video for offensive language, and that's why we can't be monetized now for at least another 3 months. And Mumkey was we talked about this on Discord, when we weren't recording, and it kind of blew up, and we all got a little bit fiery. I think all three of us are to blame about this, but because I'm all about free speech. Don't get me wrong, and I think that anyone should be able to say anything they want.
Right, but there's times when free speech certainly has its limits, and you got to be punished for your consequences. You can't just go out. I know they call it free speech, but there's a price to be paid sometimes, especially when you're using that word which is centuries of just racial strife behind it, and I could tolerate Mumkey using it just a few times, but man, that one time he said it on show, it just set me over the edge. Like, no,
I'll be honest.
I can't stand it anymore.
I'll be honest. It's not really even him saying the word itself. It's the fact that he was unwilling to concede. Like we're saying, hey man, perhaps maybe we shouldn't do that. It's gonna fuck us up. But he wants to be Mr. Controversial all the time, and so he's unwilling to fold, to step down. And I feel like he's just, I don't know if he's being destructive on purpose or he's just edgy for the sake of being edgy. But it's like, guy, like, listen, let's just try to avoid saying certain things so that we don't, this podcast doesn't self-destruct the same way, your fucking your YouTube did. And he just gets so I don't know, bitter. He's like headstrong, I guess. And I love Mumkey to death. Don't get me wrong, but this is something that a constant issue that
I think the point in that conversation we were having was that you brought up how Mumkey just wants to get this channel taken down, just like with his YouTube channel, and then he just
wouldn't that be great for the podcast?
Yeah, he just went on he just went on a tirade about that. I guess it hit a little too close to home for him, but he kind of lost it after you said he was trying to take us down with him, just like his YouTube channel.
I don't know, man. It feels weird. I mean, it feels weird just... I mean, I guess a lot of shows have two people, but it's like... He did have a voice, he'd always interject and stuff like that, or just at least kind of be like the mortar in between the bricks when we're constantly arguing. But... I don't know. I just don't know what to do about it. Like, I'd love to have him back on, but the fact that he doesn't seem to care about it. He doesn't seem to care about the show. He doesn't seem to care about its success or whether or not it gets taken off. And we're trying, like, God, I just want to get fucking sponsors on this show. I mean, is that so crazy?
Yeah, Rusty, you can toe the line long enough, but sometimes you just got to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough. And this was the breaking point for us. I mean, Mumkey, you just can't, if you're listening to this, you just can't go on the show and just say the N-word repeatedly for 20 straight minutes. We're trying to record an episode here. We're trying to produce content for all of our great listeners to tune into, and you're just trying to ruin it every time. You're like, you're the interrupting cow of the podcast.
No. And the thing I think is, like, I think people assume that their audience... that they all look just like them. Like, they're all just whatever Mumkey is or whatever you are. But we have a lot of, we have, I'm sure, a significant amount of African-American listeners. And just be like, oh, well,
we sincerely apologize for the actions of Mumkey, by the way. Please,
fuck yeah, dude.
Please continue to support the show, because that behavior will definitely, we have a zero tolerance policy to that type of behavior and that type of offensive content, just so you know.
And don't get us wrong. I mean, I know, well, at least for me, I've made the same mistake. I've said a couple of slurs and even throwing on stuff like cuck or cunt or bitch or something. Like, it's not right. Or like calling someone like the F word, faggot. Like, it's something that you probably just shouldn't say. You just shouldn't say it in like a demeaning way, but that was the problem with fucking Mumkey. And then all of his like anti-Islamic shit. I mean, that's a different tirade. That's not why we kicked him off. I mean, this was the thing that we actually got in trouble for. And
well,
unwilling
Rusty,
to fold.
Rusty, we might as well come full circle with this, because the audience, they deserve to know the truth about one of the co-members of the State of the YouTube podcast that they have been listening to for the longest time now.
He's a horrific racist.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mumkey Jones is a racist. At first I thought it was all ironic, like, haha, it's funny because it's edgy and you're not supposed to say
Hey,
it.
everybody. I'm not supposed to. Look at me, how crazy I am for saying the N-word. Whoa.
Yeah, but then one time
it
was like,
emboldens people.
then one time I was like, I was going to be a contributor to one of his streams, and he was like getting ready to stream. We were all on the call, and then he went to the bathroom and started. And he thought he muted his microphone, but he didn't. And I just heard some very terrible things.
I don't know if he was talking to his
then,
cat. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, you say some bad things when you're in your house alone and you think no one's listening.
I know, but there was not a shred of irony to any of this. Dude,
does he have fucking Tourette's or some shit? Like, I was trying to figure that out when I was listening to that stream. I fucking forgot about that. It just seemed like I don't know. He obviously didn't think he was on stream, but he was just shouting out loud. I didn't hear any other voices, so I can't imagine that Sheepover was home.
Yeah, one time, and there's that one time we were at his house, and then the mailman who happened to be African American, came to his door to deliver him a box. I don't know what was in that box, but it was very suspicious looking. But that's a whole nother issue. But the way he treated that man, that I like to think it didn't happen, and I was in just denial this whole time. But
well, I tell you what, it started early on because the first time I went to Mumkey's house, this is actually what kind of started tipping me off that this is going to be an issue going forward. We were doing some Let's Plays on his, at the time, I think it was like Mumkey Jones's Gaming Expedition or something. And him and Asperger was there, and they were all joking around like, oh, we have Rusty here. Rusty's going to do the N-word knife game. And Asperger went on some long, improv thing where he's, some horribly offensive thing where he's talking about, like, the knife game song, but it's all really racist lyrics. And after that, I had everyone tweeting at me saying, Rusty, when are you going to do the N-word knife game? And I was like, this is not how I want to associate my channel. This is not something that I really want being pinned on me. And I realized maybe I'd made a mistake by, I don't know, by even like including this fucking guy in my channel. I mean, he's funny. He's funny, and he's generally a nice guy, but he's got a couple of issues. And we should have him on to talk about it rather than, because this feels weird. This feels weird with him not being here to defend himself.
No, I don't think that's going to be happening, Rusty. Mumkey, and we should have seen this coming, to be honest, because he did the same thing with Digibro when he got kicked off of that podcast and got kicked off of DCP. Yeah. There's some official explanation where they tell you, but I'm
pretty sure it was the same thing. He was saying
they were just a lot of, they were looking out for Mumkey, and they didn't want to taint his entire career, because I think they still liked him,
Yeah, well, they did, and they didn't want to like remove him. I mean, they had to remove him from the podcast because it's. And God, I feel I'm cringing at myself for even having to say this, but it's like they were giving him a platform of which he could just spout out his hatred.
Right, exactly, Rusty.
And which he would.
No, that's exactly why we just can't have him on again. And I would urge any podcast out there or any potential guest of a Mumkey Jones live stream to avoid associating yourself with Mumkey and bringing your platform
don't say that.
To his, and he can just
no, man, you want to wish him the best. Because I mean, he can overcome this, and we're trying to talk to him, and I think that this is just like a stage. I don't know if he's going through like a difficult time where he's lashing out or something.
He does have high blood pressure. Maybe that's somehow affecting his thoughts. He's getting low sleep. He's not really himself. But I don't know. Sometimes I just listen to the stuff he says when we're not recording here, and I have to question what exactly is the true Mumkey.
Those are the awkward moments when right before we're about to start the show is the things he says to try to throw us off. And yeah, there's a lot of racial epitaphs. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's just a lot of things that like I don't agree with, and so we try to like awkwardly laugh it off. Oh yeah, monkey. But then it's like whenever it gets spliced into the conversation, and you have to understand, editing this show is very difficult because
it's a nightmare, and it's mostly because of Mumkey.
Well, we're in a free flowing conversation. So if Mumpy's going on something that's just like, oh goddamn, we're gonna have to cut out this entire segment, it throws off the flow of the show. It just becomes awkward editing. So we tried to bleep out the words a couple times. Fuck, I don't know, man. God, it's just without him.
How can someone?
What the fuck is going on though? I just don't understand what's going on with them. Because this all kind of started in the past year and a half. I feel.
Yeah, I think maybe the YouTube, his original YouTube success, kind of went to his head. He thought he was accumulating this huge platform to spread his incredibly hateful and bigoted views, and he was so happy that the Mumkey Jones army was going, just new lambs to the slaughter for him to indoctrinate into his horrendous and evil viewpoints. And then I think when his account got taken down, he couldn't handle it anymore. He spent all that time building up an audience of potential new recruits to his ideology, and he lost it all. And
oh yeah, a bunch of fucking young edgelords that, I mean, shit, was the first thing he did. Hey, here's a good idea, Mumkey. Your channel is under attack. Let's make a video calling the CEO of YouTube a fucking horse-faced bitch. That's not a good idea, Mumkey. That's why your channel got deleted. That's why our channel has been under attack for the second time in the past few months since we started this podcast.
Oh, God, man. I've tried to give Mumkey the benefit of the doubt for so long, but this fucking guy, he comes crying to us, and he was literally crying after his YouTube channel got taken down, and we're like, okay, no, Mumkey, you can have your second home here on YouTube. We'll look out for you. We'll let you resurrect your career with us, and this is how he repays us. He gives us the same disrespect. We tell him over and over again.
I mean, at least continue on with the audience.
Okay. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but just don't bring it to the show. The audience doesn't want to hear that. Yeah. Okay, but he just insists on spreading his intolerant views wherever he goes, and enough was enough. We couldn't take it anymore. So he's off the show.
People have been seeing this. They've been seeing this in his personality. Like he really blew up there for a second, but the more people started looking to his channel and into his content, they started seeing a little things that they're going, I don't know, maybe this guy isn't so innocent, because he really did play the victim card there. Like, oh, I'm just making videos criticizing school shooters. It's like, come on, dude. I was in some of those videos. I saw the scripts, and they're pretty intensely, I don't know, just evil in nature. They're offensive. It's shocking for the sake of being shocking. Like you're not fooling anyone retrospectively by saying just because your channel got took down, you were all of a sudden this fucking righteous, high moral fucking guy who just got screwed over by YouTube. You're not fooling anyone. I'm fucking tirade now because I'm kind of pissed. I'm just like, this whole situation has me pissed.
He fooled us for a while, but eventually we just had enough. So This is the last you'll see of Mumkey Jones, and in fact, we might even consider deleting any of the episodes that have Mumkey Jones. I know that leaves us with very few episodes left for you guys to watch, but it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, going forward, it's the right decision.
We cannot allow Mumkey Jones to have a platform to spread his gospel.
Well, yeah, and if he's going to keep up with this, I mean, how long until we start getting strikes on those episodes? Because we have, someone who's publicly spouting out constant hatred. And yeah, that's going to come back and bite us in the ass. So, I mean, listen, our podcast, we've only been doing this for a couple months, so it will not be hard to,
Yeah, I know. It's
going forward to go on.
We've been lucky that we're not big enough for any kind of mainstream organizations to take a hold of us and kind of rope us in with all of Mumkey's misdeeds.
Should we talk about Turkey Tom?
Oh yeah, so
I don't know if we should. Yeah.
Well, it was originally going to be a surprise for the next episode, but I figure it's better time. This is a pretty dark episode, a pretty sad day for SOTY, but we might as well lighten up the mood. Now, Turkey Tom is not here currently, but we have reached an agreement where Turkey Tom himself will become the new third member of SOTY.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this. No, I'm trying to bring up the mood, but yeah, for sure. Turkey Tom, I mean, we had good rapport. We did one episode with him, and a very engaging fella.
That was a great episode.
So I think he'll be a good replacement. I mean, he's got like roughly the same charisma, a similar charisma as Mom. It's kind of like a Sammy Hagar, that other guy from Van Halen situation. Who's the other guy from Van Halen?
Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, didn't they have two singers?
I don't know. That's not from my time, Rusty.
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, I meant Bon Scott and Brian Johnson, AC/DC. It's pretty much going to be apples to apples. Like, Turkey Tom's going to be a good fill-in. And we're excited. We'll probably have him on. We'll be recording an episode this week. And, well, it's Thursday now, so by the time that we record it, in a few days, we're gonna do some tryouts, but we've reached a financial agreement with Turkey, and we're excited to go to be moving forward.
Yes, so all of you, I know some of you out there might have liked Mumkey on the show, and you might have liked the chemistry he brought, but unfortunately, that is a bygone era of the show.
Chemistry was mustard gas.
Alas, it is time. It is time to embrace the new glorious era, the new era of Turkey Tom on SOTY. It's time to embrace it with open arms, and hopefully everyone will be made better off because of it.
I honestly think that everyone's going to like it going forward. I mean, I get it. This is going to be a big downer at first, losing Mumkey, and but the show's going to be better than ever, and it's going to be more inclusive than ever, and you're not going to have to worry about listening to this podcast around your black friends.
Exactly. And just to be clear, inclusion and just making sure that everyone listening at home is comfortable, and you don't have to be reminded of injustice and intolerance. That is not what we're going for here. This is a very safe space. We're hoping that everyone listening has had a very safe and non-triggering episode today, despite the very shocking events. And if any of you took extreme offense to this episode, then we sincerely apologize.
And hey, just real quick, as a closing thought, hey, can you keep the comment section clean? Because a lot of YouTubers are getting kind of screwed over by bad words in comment sections. So let's just kind of cut out the foul language.
Yes, I agree.
All right, well.
All right, everyone. Well, Mumkey usually closes out the show. He was good at that. But unfortunately, either Rusty or I are going to have to take up that responsibility moving forward.
All right, everyone. Blah, 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 N-word. Sorry.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. I'm just being bitter now.
It's a shame.
Dude, let's just fucking end it.
Get ready for... we'll be here with Turkey Tom on the next show, and stay tuned.